Hello.
Hey.
Okay. So at the beginning of this semester, one of the topics we talked about was globalization. Do you guys have any idea what globalization is?
No idea. I've heard about it in my environmental stewardship class, but excuse me, it was one of those concepts I've never fully really grasped. I assume it's like the world coming together.
It is! That actually is what it is. It's like making the world smaller almost because we're coming closer together. And there's different levels of globalization. There's 1.0, which is governments communicating with each other. 2.0, companies communicating with each other. And 3.0, which would be like people communicating with each other.
That's new.
Yeah. And so, and if you think about it, this time that we live in is when globalization is like at its peak, when it's starting to become more apparent, because of different forces. Could you think of any forces maybe that are?
Well, definitely the internet.
Yeah.
And just the way we travel now. I mean, we don't have to get on ships and take 6 weeks to get across the Atlantic Ocean. We can just take a plane and be there in less than a day.
Really, that is so
Just the way we
true.
travel is a huge difference.
Traveling was something I had never thought of before, but the internet is huge because it allows for communication. Just like,
And that's immediate too.
it is.
Yeah, my sister and sister are serving in the Philippines, and they would like email back and forth. And
Yeah.
right then and there.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't
Yeah.
it? And then Skype, you can Skype with people across the world.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I think trade has major influence on globalization. It's something we've been doing for like long time, and I think it was like one of the keystones for globalization because it was like really
Yeah, I guess trade is why we had to have globalization. Kind of.
yeah, colonization would be cause for that too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on to English.
Yes, so for this semester, what we did is we each got adopted into a country, and we had to learn about this country. And mainly what we did was we learned about the Millennial Development Goals with this country. And so I think that was one of your questions, Megan. You asked what they were, what the purpose of the Millennial Development Goals were.
What are they?
Yeah.
I've never heard of them before. It's something that was
Like,
just made for this class.
No. Okay, so the Millennial Development Goals, pretty much what it is, you guys know what a developing country is, right?
Right. Yeah.
So, Millennial Development Goals is a way to help these developing countries become better. And so what happened was the United Nations got together and made a list of goals. They got together in the year 2000, so it was at the beginning of the millennium. That's why it's Millennial Development Goals.
I was thinking like gospel.
No. So it happened in 2000, and they got together and they thought of 8 Millennial Development Goals that they wanted to help these countries improve on, things such as poverty, education, women empowerment, and so forth. And so, and it was supposed to be completed by the year 2015, which is next month. And obviously, they didn't get to.
By the end of 2015
No,
or the beginning?
The beginning.
Okay.
And so obviously, I don't think that they've completed all of their goals, but they have made some progresses. And so you asked what I thought the most interesting thing about the class, and honestly, because I had never heard of the Millennial Development Goals before, that's what I thought was interesting, because that was the newest idea for me, and how these leaders of these countries got together to try to find a way to help these developing countries.
Do you have any examples? I don't know if this had anything to do with the class or anything, but do you have any examples of what they have accomplished? If they haven't completely accomplished their goal, well, what have they done in these past 15 years to try to reach that goal?
I don't know exactly what the UN has done, because I feel like they did make these goals, but they didn't necessarily follow up. It's like they gave these countries these goals, but I can't think of like how they helped in trying to help these countries accomplish their goals. It's almost like they told the countries, this is what you're aiming for, do it yourself. Yeah.
So is it more like the Millennium Goals are just like, these are standards that need to be met to be considered a developed country?
Mm-hmm. Pretty much, because they wanted them to become more developed countries. That's actually dead on what you just said, Megan. But like, so for
They haven't
future,
gotten there yet.
yes.
So do you think the UN is gonna follow up finally now and say, okay, we're gonna set another amount of time for you to get this done, or do you think they
That
care anymore?
Be interesting. I think they actually are planning on trying to help even more. But that's actually an interesting topic, the future development goals and like what areas they should improve on. And I think one reason would be to, like, instead of focusing on 8 goals, just to focus on one goal, something that really needs to get done.
I think they should focus on a main goal that will affect all other goals.
Yes, and in fact, with Bangladesh, one area that they really need improvement with is environmental sustainability, because they have a ton of flooding and typhoons, which was, you asked,
What a monsoon was, not a typhoon.
okay, I don't remember if I put monsoons in my paper.
The monsoon.
Okay, typhoons is more correct. Because when I think of monsoon, I think of like monsoon season.
Yeah, that's what I was asking, if there was a certain time period that they had them.
Yeah, and so I think of more of like monsoon season. I should have looked to see when it was, but I do remember they do have a set season.
So they're not like flash monsoons, it's not like flash flooding or anything, like there's a time period that they know they're having monsoons.
Yes, because I read